12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It's 6 a.m. on your Saturday. It's September 27th, and it's a big day for us here at KSAT. We have our Head for the Cure 5K race that's happening right across the street from us, kicking off at 8 a.m. Our Stephanie Serta will be emceeing it and kicking things off. We're going to see a lot of familiar faces out there. I don't know. Is Justin Horan?
Justin will be. Justin will be running as well. Yeah. So it's hard to believe this is the 12th annual Head for the Cure. Of course, the Head for the Cure Foundation raises money for brain cancer research, and this is something near and dear to our hearts because it's in honor of our late news director Jim Boyle, who passed away from brain cancer.
That's right, and that race starts at 8 a.m. You can still register online at our website, and we hope you see you there. Sarah, like you were saying, coolish mornings,
gorgeous.
But gonna warm up a little bit.
The weather this morning is absolutely beautiful. We are waking up and we are seeing temperatures in the low 60s in San Antonio. It's 64 degrees. In fact, this is the coolest morning we've had since May 12th. It's only 55 in Kerrville and in Fredericksburg, 63 in Uvalde, 70 in Del Rio, and 63 in New Braunfels. A gorgeous start to the day. Here's a look at your Head for the Cure 5K race, or if you'd like to run in solidarity with us this morning, you can know that temperatures are going to be very pleasant, low humidity, and a north wind at about 5 miles per hour. There might even be some personal records set because of the ideal conditions out there. Now today, 92 for the high. Yes, that's hot, but we'll have low humidity. And tomorrow, a very similar day to today, a cool morning and a warm afternoon. And if you've been hoping for rain, we're going to have to wait a while to see rain in San Antonio. I'll have those details coming up in a bit. Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. 2 teens were arrested, and you won't believe how the trouble started. Investigators say it was over a Netflix account. Police tell us 18-year-old Anthony Constant and 19-year-old Brian Reynolds face charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The victim in this case says that Reynolds and Constant changed the name on his Netflix account to something rude. So when he confronted the pair, they began fighting. Reynolds is accused of shooting the victim in the head. Now both men are in Bexar County Jail. Roof shingles stolen, and this morning the man accused of this robbery is sitting in jail as well. We first told you about this story last weekend. We now know the name of the suspect arrested. San Antonio police accused 38-year-old Miguel de los Santos Galado in this robbery. They say he and a 57-year-old man were seen stealing shingles from construction properties. That second man has not been arrested, but SAPD says he could face some charges later. Roofing companies we spoke to say this kind of crime is not anything new, but material pricing is the reason why roof shingles right now are so lucrative.
The cost of asphalt shingles and the building materials that we're working with have pretty much doubled since COVID.
So their best advice to keeping your home safe is keeping construction materials hidden before you use them.
I was really stressed, crying, hurt. I felt like no one was listening.
Leonor Hidrogo, her 63-year-old mom is Mary Ramos, and until Friday afternoon, Mary spent 7 days in the Bexar County Jail. Though Mary says she was wrongfully arrested, this all started with a traffic stop. So San Antonio police pulled Mary over, and when they ran her information, a warrant for her arrest came up.
When he arrested me and they brought me over here, they didn't arrest me under Mary Ramos. They arrested me under a different name.
What name was that?
Rosalinda Reynosa.
So we obtained a copy of the warrant, and the name on it says Mary Hidrogo. A name Mary Ramos went by during a previous marriage. We also got the police report, and the suspect listed was Rosalinda Reynosa, a name Bexar County deputies told us was Mary Ramos's alias. However, Ramos said she has never gone by that name. The case is now in the process of being dismissed. Well, here at KSAT, we are now less than 2 hours away from the 12th annual Head for the Cure 5K, which started in San Antonio as a way to honor our late news director, Jim Boyle. However, the nationwide mission to raise awareness and funding support brain cancer research got its start more than a decade before that race started here. Our Stephanie Cerna spoke with the founder and president of Head for the Cure, Matt Anthony, on how this race was established in honor of his late brother.
He was active, he was a runner, and it came from nowhere.
Matt Anthony, the founder and president of the Head for the Cure Foundation, tells us his brother, Chris Anthony, was 34 years old when he was diagnosed with glioblastoma stage 4 brain cancer. Before his death, Chris, who had always enjoyed competitive running, talked about raising money and awareness for brain cancer by starting a race.
A few months before he passed, it was really his idea. He said, this is a disease that is under-researched, seemingly because it's underfunded. How about if we do a 5K? Maybe we bring a little bit of attention to this disease.
The idea eventually turned into the Head for the Cure 5K, which started in Kansas City. It expanded to Dallas, Austin, and then in 2014, here in San Antonio. The race here honoring KSAT's late news director, Jim Boyle.
Erin Dempsey, who is Jim's daughter, she lives in Austin. She attended our Austin event. She reached out to me, and we had a small staff at the time, and said, it was such a great experience. I want to bring Head for the Cure to San Antonio and honor my dad.
The Head for the Cure 5K is now in 26 cities across the country, giving participants not only a chance to raise money for brain cancer research, but also a way to remember their loved ones.
You had made mention that your brother wouldn't want it to be all about him, but as Chris's brother, how does it make you feel to be able to help so many people in his honor?
Well, I miss my brother, of course, and I miss him every day, but I also feel his intense presence. Chris would not want it to be about him, but yet his spirit, his energy, his positivity, his ordinariness, that he just wanted to live, that animates everything that we do at Head for the Cure.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
And it's those stories, hearing about their loved ones and everyone's loved ones, that really matter. And I look forward to hearing more of those stories throughout the morning and sharing them with our viewers. It's 6:07, 64 degrees. San Antonio's youngest entrepreneurs are gearing up to pitch their startups to real investors during Startup Week. Still ahead, how some already scored thousands in seed money. Plus, a mother is honoring her son's memory through a special 5K race. How her students are stepping up to support her this year.
All right, outside with live cam. Guess what? It is only 64 degrees outside in San Antonio. That's our coolest morning in almost 140 days. Get out there, enjoy that cool morning. It's going to be hot this afternoon, but here's the key: low humidity. Details soon.
Well, this morning we are sharing stories on how the annual Head for the Cure 5K has given families a way to remember and honor their loved ones, including Naomi Olivares, whose son passed away from brain cancer when he was just 11 years old. Naomi and her family participate in this race every year, and this year she's getting support from some of her students at Holmes High School. Here's our Stephanie Cerna with the story.
My son was such a big energy in a little body. He was so active. He was just a great little kid.
That's how Naomi Olivares likes to remember her son, Gilbert Cordaway, full of energy, happy, and on his skateboard. Gilbert, or Peanut as she lovingly called him, was diagnosed with an aggressive type of brain cancer at just 10 years old. And 9 months later, in February of 2015, at just 11 years old, he passed away. As devastating as it was losing her son, Naomi tells us she has found some comfort in being able to honor him every year at the Head for the Cure 5K.
Every year it's always an emotional roller coaster for sure. It's always really sad, but also a safe place for us to go to, just to be with other people who feel what we feel.
It's just something comforting knowing I'm not alone having to deal with this, being able to tell other people these stories of just how I remember him.
Let's go!
And at this year's race, some of Naomi's students from Holmes High School where she works as an assistant librarian, will be running at the race to show their support.
What does it mean to you to have the support, not only from your family that's been doing this every year with you, but now to have the support of your school?
It's amazing how fast they were just ready to dive in. It means a lot to me. It really does mean a lot. Like, they were just so willing and ready to do it.
It feels very inspiring and warming that we can help impact that, like make it like head towards a cure for brain cancer.
I have kids. I have 3 kids and a bunch of grandkids, and I think I don't know if I could even. I can't fathom how she would, even does this. It's somebody that we care about, that we want to, honor.
Y'all doing it for such a great cause. For more than just me, it's a lot of families out there. So, thank y'all.
Naomi says she's also thankful to support a race that helps so many.
It's going to a good cause. It's going to the research they need so they can find that cure, so another kid can be able to walk that stage or celebrate another birthday. Nobody needs to go through this, not anybody.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, Sarah, I just cannot even imagine the pain, but then to see the way that the community is rallying for folks and for brain cancer research is a wonderful thing.
And I think that's what this race does. It gives families a sense of community, like, hey, you're not the only one that is going through this. We're going through it, or, survivors can see other survivors at this event.
Absolutely.
So it's a really just beautiful, unique event that raises money for a good cause, and beautiful weather for it this morning.
Beautiful morning and a beautiful weather for the event as well. Temperatures are only in the low 60s, Sarah. It's 61 in Bulverde, 63 in Helotes, 65 in Seguin. Good morning, New Braunfels. It's 63 degrees, 63 in Uvalde, and only in the 50s in the Hill Country. 55 in Kerrville and 57 in Bandera. A gorgeous morning. All thanks to some dry air in place. I'm showing you dew points. Dew points in the 40s and 50s, which is right in the middle of our scale here. It's dry, pleasantly dry outside. You can see how still near the coast. It's a little bit muggy this morning, but we're going to see dry air stick around for, honestly, the vast majority of the week. Our week is going to be characterized by cool mornings and warm afternoons because of the low humidity. It really isn't until Friday that we start to see some mugginess work its way back into the forecast. So take a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Nothing but sunny skies, mostly sunny all day for us. Around noon, it'll be 83. If you can find some shade, enjoy that lunch outdoors. It's going to be a great day to do that. 92 for the high this afternoon, and then quickly cooling tonight. We'll be getting into the 70s already by 10 o'clock. So it's going to be a gorgeous day. 92, as I mentioned, for the high in San Antonio. We'll be looking at mid 90s closer to the border, upper 90s for areas like Laredo, low 90s for areas like New Braunfels up toward Austin, and even in the 80s in parts of the Hill Country. Kerrville, Rock Springs, and Fredericksburg, you'll struggle to get out of the 80s today. Now, interestingly, San Antonio is going to be one of the hottest places on the map, and South Central Texas. Take a look at Brownsville, 92. It's even areas like Phoenix, Las Vegas are not going to be as hot as San Antonio. And that's because those areas across the desert Southwest are dealing with this low pressure system while we are dealing with a high. And this high pressure system is going to win out over the next several days, meaning we're going to be hot and dry over the next several days. But we are going to have cool mornings. So mornings will be in the 60s, afternoons in the 90s. So there's 3 key takeaways for this week. Cool mornings. When will it be the coolest? Right at sunrise. And sunrise throughout the week is going to be close to 7:25 in the morning. A lot of us are up around that time for our kids, but if you want to get up even earlier, again, it should be cool and comfortable. And we'll have warm but dry afternoons. So low humidity, even though we're going to be running hotter than average, the low humidity is still going to make it feel okay. The last thing and the key thing for this week is unfortunately 0 rain chance over the next 7 to at least 10 days potentially. Here's a look at forecast rainfall totals this week across the nation. You can see a big old hole over Texas. No rain for Texas, including San Antonio. But out across the Carolinas, there could be be more than half a foot of rain. And the reason for that is because of the tropics and soon to be tropical storm Imelda. We'll talk about that coming up in the next half hour. But again, just a reminder that this week is going to be cool in the morning, warm in the afternoon, low humidity for us, and unfortunately no rain in a worsening drought situation for us, Sarah. So we had some rain, we have put some dent in the drought, but this is just going to make it worse and prolong our multi-year drought.
Yeah, I was out gardening on Tuesday and just a lot of deep watering once a week. That's really the way that you get those plants to survive this.
Oh my gosh, and as we go into the winter, it could potentially be a long winter for us of dry weather.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. 621, 64 degrees. Teens from 12 local high schools turning their business ideas into a reality. How some have already scored thousands in funding and are about to pitch to top investors. That's next. Well, welcome back. San Antonio Startup Week is less than a month away, but this year, teams from 12 high schools around San Antonio will have the chance to show their stuff. These students are entrepreneurs, and they haven't even graduated yet, and some already have thousands of dollars in investment seed money. So one of those programs is at Alamo Heights High School, and it's called the Heights Business Incubator. Teams of students get together and come up with their own startup ideas and learn how to give an elevator pitch, draw up a business plan, and analyze competitors and even develop prototypes for their products. So now they're going to have to stage in front of investors, business owners, and other entrepreneurs with San Antonio Startup Week, and that kicks off on October 13th. The students will be pitching on the 17th. Good luck, guys. Well, young musicians in San Antonio have a unique opportunity to explore their future at a music college fair happening later this morning. It starts at 11:30 and goes until 1:30. High school and middle school students interested in pursuing a career in music will have the chance to meet directly with representatives from conservatories, universities, and music schools. Interested students can register online at music.yosa.org/fair. It is 626, 64 degrees. A man's windshield smashed by flying rocks while driving on Broadway. That suspect ran naked from police. Hear this crazy story from the driver himself. No more delays in the trial of former San Antonio officer accused of shooting a teen in a McDonald's parking lot. So jury selection starts next month. We've got the latest on what to expect. Good morning. It's 6:30 on your Saturday, September 27th, and it is a cool morning for our Head for the Cure 5K happening at 8 a.m. right across the street from us at Providence High School. This is the 12th annual Head for the Cure. It starts again at 8 a.m., and this is an event that raises funds for brain cancer research. We started it here in honor of our late news director, Jim Boyle. So you can still register online at our website, and we hope we see you there. We know our Stephanie Cerna, she's going to be emceeing the event, and Justin Horn will be out there, and some other familiar faces at KSAT are going to be out there and running for that cause.
There's been humid mornings for Head for the Cure in the past.
Oh, yeah.
There's been frigid mornings, and this morning is going to be kind of Goldilocks, just right. We are looking at a morning low right now, right around 64. It's only 61 in Bulverde, and even in the hill country, higher elevations in the mid-50s, 55 in Lakey. Good morning, Uvalde at 64 degrees, 65 in Floresville. A gorgeous start to our day. In fact, our coolest morning in quite some time. And guess what? We're going to have cool mornings all week long. Mornings are going to be in the mid to upper 60s, close to or just below average. And with low humidity, it'll feel amazing out there. That being said, it is still going to be a hot day. We're still likely going to see a high in the low 90s around San Antonio, 93 in New Braunfels and Seguin. It'll be 92 in Uvalde, upper 80s for areas like Kerrville and Bernie, but still Going to be pretty warm. At least the humidity will be low. So looking ahead to the rest of this weekend, cool mornings, warm afternoons, kind of a repeat forecast for tomorrow for us. And in the week ahead, we just do not have any rain. And so that brings concerns for an ongoing multi-year drought worsening. I'll be talking about that, the improvements we've made to the drought since May, and how dry it could be in the coming week and a half. And we've got to talk about the tropics, because soon to be Imelda will be eyeing the East Coast, kind of the first big storm to potentially impact the East Coast in a little while. So I'll have those details in just a few minutes. Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. Well, no more delays in the case against the former San Antonio police officer who shot a teenager in the McDonald's parking lot.
I'm hell or high water. You're going to be here in this court at 9 o'clock in the morning to pick that jury, okay? So.
That was Judge Joel Pettis denying a request to push back James Brennan's trial. Brennan is charged with aggravated assault of a public servant for shooting then teenager Eric Cantu in 2022. Brennan's attorneys wanted to push a trial back a few weeks, arguing they'll be tied up in a different trial. Judge Pettis said jury summons have already been sent out. Now jury selection in this case will begin October 17th, and opening arguments are expected to begin October 20th. If he's convicted, Brennan faces anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. Well, he may have broken a windshield, but a Gillespie County man told KSAT he's now got the wild story of how it happened. Gary Athens was one of those drivers whose car was hit Thursday by a man throwing concrete and rocks along Broadway near downtown. Police identified the suspect as this man on your screen, 28-year-old Victor Hernandez Jr. Hernandez stripped down and ran naked from police. Athens said one of his friends helped chase him down, which he found funny, but when police brought him back without clothes, he says he felt an overwhelming sense of sadness.
This guy throws a rock at your car, right, and apparently other cars too. And you're feeling compassion.
I can't. Why get angry? I can't do anything about it. And you know, I forgiveness. I mean, it's all about forgiveness, and I know that this windshield will be fixed today. This young man won't be fixed for a long time, if ever.
Well, police haven't said drugs played a role, and they cannot legally tell us whether or not someone has a mental health diagnosis. However, Hernandez is facing multiple charges for criminal mischief, evading arrest, and trying to take a gun from an officer. Well, it's been 5 months since a woman was killed on a busy West Bexar County road by a speeding driver. Police say nothing has changed. We showed you this video back then, a white Mustang racing by at over 100 miles an hour before hitting 71-year-old Patricia Browning's car. Since then, the Texas Department of Transportation has reported at least 5 more crashes in that area. The county is studying traffic congestion and considering an overpass, but people here want a traffic light to slow speeders, and that doesn't seem to be in the plan, and neighbors aren't happy about it.
There's a lot of people that race up and down the street. You know, it's a little out of control now, especially with all the growth that we're having in the area.
I mean, nothing's changed at all. I still see cars flying down this road.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says it's increasing patrols and traffic enforcement to keep the area safer. Well, Texas authorities say they have finally cracked a decades-old mystery of 4 teen girls who were murdered in a yogurt shop. In 1991, the bodies of 4 teen girls were found inside a burned-down yogurt shop in North Austin. Now investigators say genetic genealogy technology has identified Robert Eugene Brashes as the killer. Brashes was a serial killer who took his own life in 1999. His DNA has also been linked to several other murders and crimes in South Carolina, Tennessee, and in Missouri. Austin police say the investigation is still open and ongoing. Well, President Donald Trump is turning his attention to a mysterious death of pilot Amelia Earhart. Earhart was trying to become the first woman to fly around the world when her plane vanished over the Pacific Ocean in 1937. Trump announced his ordering his administration to declassify and release all government records related to that death. So there was many conspiracy theories about what happened to her, but the U.S. government has long suspected that her navigator crashed out after running out of fuel. Well, Attorney General Pam Bondi says she's sending Justice Department agents to ICE facilities across the country to protect agents and federal property. She also ordered joint terrorism task forces to investigate and disrupt domestic terrorism activities. This comes just days after a shooting at a Dallas ICE field office. So one detainee was killed and 2 others were critically injured. This year, Texas has seen at least 4 attacks or threats of ICE and Border Patrol locations. BMW is urging owners not to park their cars in garages right now because of a fire hazard. So the issue comes from a faulty engine starter that affects nearly 200,000 vehicles. The recall affects certain BMW models and about 1,500 Toyota supercars. Most of these were made between 2019 and 2022. BMW dealers will replace the starter at no cost, but the recall will roll out in phases due to parts availability. So owners can expect to get notification letters starting in November. Until then, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recommends parking outside or away from buildings until the problem is fixed. Well, we are now less than an hour and a half away from the 12th annual Head for the Cure 5K, which started in San Antonio as our way to honor our late news director, Jim Boyle, who died of brain cancer. Our Stephanie Cerna spoke with the family who has been part of the race from the very start, even after their loved one, Michael Hartfield, passed away in 2022.
My dad, he was one of the best people that I've ever met, and I'm honored to have him as my dad.
Ever since Clara Hartfield can remember, the Head for the Cure 5K has been a big part of her life. And when her family went out to the 5K that first year in 2014, they were out there in support of her dad, Michael Hartfield.
What is it like, being involved with Head for the Cure, all these years?
As I've grown up, I've realized that it's a lot more. It affects a lot more people. And Head for the Cure, not only is it something that we do for brain cancer, but I just feel like it connects me with my dad.
Michael Hartfield was diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer in 2009 when Clara was a newborn and her older sister was 2 years old. Michael went through rounds of radiation and chemo until he got his first clear scan back in January of 2010. And when the Head for the Cure 5K started in San Antonio, Michael joined the race as a survivor.
And he would run the race. He would run. He was so proud that he could do it.
Michael was re-diagnosed in 2020 and started oral chemo. In 2021, Michelle says the chemo quit working, so he went back to MD Anderson for radiation. In 2022, Michael passed away.
We are so blessed that the girls were able to see their dad and grow up and get to know him, because if something would have happened in 2009 or 2010, Clara especially wouldn't have been able to know her dad.
Team Headstrong has now grown to over 75 people, all in support of Michael.
What does it mean to you, all the support that you get with Head for the Cure?
It's something that you can't explain, but it just gives you that faith and that strength just to keep moving forward and just to be a light for somebody else.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
Well, these stories can be hard to hear, but they're important. And a woman who has faced COVID, lung and brain cancer tumors is not backing down. After the break, we meet DJ, who's turning her struggle into strength at today's Head for the Cure 5K.
And we are starting off cool and comfortable out there. Get outside and enjoy this. Once the sun rises around 6:25, it's going to end up being a toasty day. And we've got 2 systems we are watching that could become hurricanes very soon. Details.
Well, she wasn't just facing the COVID-19 pandemic like the rest of us. She was also coming to terms with lung cancer and brain tumors. Our Stephanie Serna spoke with Dilva Galan, also known as DJ, about her challenging journey.
When Dilva Galan, also known as DJ, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in 2020, she says she had no idea that she was living with cancer and didn't realize that the cancer went beyond her lungs.
Not only did I have it in my lungs, but I had it in my liver, my bones, and also my brain. I had brain tumors. My doctor decided to do the radiation to my brain first to attack that part.
DJ says that 10 days of treatment stopped the brain tumors from growing, but she is still battling lung cancer.
Everybody has been such a great help for me, and I think that's why I'm here. You know, prayers and support. I think that allows me to be here and fight still.
You're doing better now, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm doing better. I have highs and lows, but right now I'm okay.
DJ tells us the support and love of her son, her husband, and her entire family has helped her push through the tough times. But another thing that has given her strength and hope is the Head for the Cure 5K.
Seems like you're also supporting others battling through this by just being there at the Head for the Cure.
Yes, I love the event. I love the camaraderie. I do have a couple of friends that also have brain tumors that have been participating with me as well.
DJ plans on being back at the Head for the Cure this year with her team, We Can Do It.
It's hard to stay upbeat the whole time, but as much as you can, laugh and do whatever you normally do. Do not give up, because we can do it.
Stephanie Serna, KSAT 12 News.
These stories of survival are so inspiring. It's difficult to hear these stories. We need to hear these stories, and more importantly, we need an event like Head for the Cure. So if you weren't planning on coming out, you have an hour and 15 minutes to get out here, and it's perfect weather for it.
It is great weather for it. On top of it being such a great cause, at least the weather is great too. Temperatures are only in the low 60s, 64 in San Antonio. Meanwhile, it's been 54 in Boerne, 53 in Kerrville, 63 in Uvalde, 65 in Seguin. In fact, this morning, my friends, is our coolest morning since May 12th. That's 138 days. A sign that yes, the seasons are changing, even if it's not as cool as some of us may want it to be. So take a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast. We've got low humidity with us all day. It's going to be lovely outside, but we are going to warm up quickly. A dry atmosphere warms up very quickly. By noon, it'll be 83, so already some nearly 20 degrees warmer than where we're at right now in a matter of just a few hours. In the afternoon, that's when it'll be our warmest, of course, 92 for the high around 4 or 5 o'clock. We'll have east or north winds at about 5 miles per hour, and then temperatures will quickly cool tonight. If you have Saturday night plans, it's going to be lovely outside. Temperatures will be in the 70s by 9-10 o'clock tonight, so a gorgeous evening. And then we're kind of going to repeat what we do today over the next several days. Tomorrow morning, our morning low will be 65 with a high of 91. And on Monday, that high will be 90. So again, we're going to have cool mornings and warm afternoons. The biggest takeaways for this week are that if you enjoy waking up early, a lot of us do. If you're watching us right now, I'm sure you do. And sunrise right around 7:25, that is the coolest part of the day. So this morning we'll have this week we'll have those cool mornings in the 60s, but we are going to have warm afternoons. The key there is humidity will be low. So even when it's 95, our peak heat on Wednesday, it's going to be a dry heat. There's not going to be any heat index value. But unfortunately, with that comes zero chance for rain. And this is not good news for us because we are once again slowly starting to see drought in its extreme form in the reds and the dark reds here creeping back into San Antonio. Now, you can see that we've got extreme and exceptional drought in areas in Medina County as well, but we have seen some improvement since May. So this is the most recent drought monitor. Watch what happens when we look back at May. In May, the vast majority of us were in the worst category of drought, the exceptional category of drought. So we have seen some improvement, but where I lose my positivity is when I look at the next several days, because the next several days, 7 to 10 days at least, we're going to be pretty dry. In fact, big old hole over Texas, no rain for San Antonio over the next several days. Now, there are going to be parts of the nation that deal with a lot of rain. Areas like Charleston, South Carolina could see half a foot of rainfall. And the reason for that is what's going on in the tropics. So let's take a look at the tropics. First of all, we've got Hurricane Umberto, which is a major Category 4 hurricane. Meanwhile, out across the Caribbean, there is an area of disorganized storms at the moment that is likely going to become Tropical Storm Imelda. And as we look ahead at both of their tracks, Umberto will become a major Category 5 hurricane with 160-mile-per-hour winds by early tomorrow morning, while Imelda forms early tomorrow morning over the Bahamas as a tropical storm. Then as we look more into the future, by about Tuesday morning, Umberto is going to turn toward Bermuda, while Imelda will likely become a hurricane, a lower-end Category 1 hurricane, but still a hurricane nonetheless. And you can see that Imelda will have more of an impact on the Carolinas potentially and areas in Georgia. Now, we also have to watch for Bermuda because Bermuda could take a direct hit from Umberto. We just have to wait and see. Otherwise, again, Imelda is really going to be the storm that impacts a good portion of the East Coast. In fact, there could likely be some flooding by Tuesday. And keep in mind, remember Hurricane Helene last year in parts of North Carolina created horrible flooding. It's hard to believe that almost exactly a year after that, much of this area is once again going to have to be on the lookout for the potential for flash flooding. Of course, that's the story across the nation. Back here at home, it is just simply going to be a very dry weather pattern with cool mornings, warm afternoons, and low humidity. We'll be back with more news after the break.
Heads up on a possible traffic issue downtown tonight. Chris Brown is performing at the Alamo Dome, and 48,000 people are expected to be there. The concert starts with opening acts at 7 p.m. The doors of the Alamo Dome open at 5, so if you're headed downtown, plan for some delays. We have more on transportation options and parking restrictions right now on KSAT.com. San Antonio Animal Care Services is celebrating World Rabies Awareness Day by keeping pets safe and owners informed by hosting a free vaccination clinic from 9 to 11 a.m. today at their facility on Highway 151. The first 100 pets will receive free rabies shots. World Rabies Awareness Day, that's a mouthful, held every year on September 28th, shines a light on preventing rabies. It's a deadly but preventable disease that can spread through unvaccinated pets and wildlife. We'll get ready to celebrate art, nature, and community at the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. The San Antonio River Authority and San Antonio River Foundation are inviting everyone to enjoy festivities today from 6:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. at Confluence Park. There'll be short films, live music, local vendors, and delicious food. You're encouraged to bring your own lawn chairs and blankets. There will be a cool evening. I know it's a cool morning.
Well, those blankets are more so for the ground.
Right.
You know, like it's going to be in the 70s, but that's going to be a nice evening. Now, right now, it's 64 degrees in San Antonio. So starting off cool, even in the low 50s in parts of the hill country. And good morning, Floresville. It's 62 degrees. We'll be warming up to 92, though, this afternoon. A quick warm up thanks to low humidity. We'll pretty much do it again on Sunday. Cool morning, warm afternoon. And oh, hey, look at that. Cool mornings, warm afternoons all week long. No rain chance for us. That drought is slowly starting to get worse and worse and worse. We made a dent, but not enough to eliminate drought. We've been in continual drought for many years, 3 to 4 years right now in San Antonio. Crazy.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Hey, don't go anywhere. In just about an hour, our 5K Head for the Cure starts right across the street from us. And don't want to